just like a 4x15 Plymore bag. You can get them off of Amazon or other places. And I think the most important part is getting your soil mixture right. So this is just 50-50 peat and perlite. And the moisture level is extremely important. So as I'm mixing it together, I'll spray in some water and get it just to the point where it feels damp, you know, not wet. You shouldn't be able to squeeze it and get any water out of there. You guys can feel that. You can tell it's just...
If you're trying to avoid peat, what do you suggest? Is it like a
cocoa?
Cocoa? Is it?
Yeah.
But you like peat better though?
Just because it's available right now. Yeah. Cocoa would be fine.
Okay.
But you want it damp. Where people run into issues is it's too wet, and then you'll get mold, and you get root rot. So I start with the bag. This is just a 2-inch PVC pipe that I cut at an angle. If you have a lot to do this.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can use a little spade and just kind of scoop it in. But
Oh wow.
Okay, just
yeah. And you guys can have the link, to the YouTube video, which is probably much more detailed than this. But being able to see it, like, you know, right here, right now, and ask questions is also important. You want to pack it down, get all the air out of it, and then like it's ready. It's like patented air hole maker. It's just a piece of wood with nails. You can use something else to poke it, but if, like I said, if you have a bunch, find a way to make it faster. So there's no real science to that. You just want to have some air holes. Yeah, it tends to have enough moisture to last through the whole rooting process until you apply. I rarely have to add water, but if it starts to get lighter in color and it's a little lighter in weight as well, you notice it start to drying out, or if you have any sort of wilt on your leaves, you can add a little bit of water in the top. This is just Clonex rooting gel. That's what I've used up to this point, and I prefer it. Take a blade and scrape your cuttings down the side. Just expose some of that cambium layer. You don't have to dig in there too deep, but just enough. Normally I'll paint it on with a brush, but I don't have my brush today, so I'm just gonna dip it.
Are you allergic to Clonex or any?
Nope. Yeah. I'm sure any would be fine. You can skip this step even. You could not scrape it. You could just stick it in there, and it'll root.
What do you think about aloe? Like, I did some experiments, but I don't know. Does it really make a difference?
I haven't tried aloe.
Okay, yeah, I did some dragon fruits like rooting one aloe and nothing, and they all were successful. So I was like, okay.
The best I've had success with is dip and grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try that one. I ordered some. I'm trying that this year. I'll see.
I've had really
I'll see
good
the
luck with
difference.
Have you ever used cinnamon?
Nope, never used cinnamon.
Like cinnamon to do.
So that's it.
I'm not saying it won't work.
Yeah, it's peat and perlite mix, like 50-50.
And then if you want to just touch it, he's letting us like feel the right consistency
Yeah, you
of
can
like
feel
the
it.
moisture.
I've used mostly.
I would say the only thing you need to get is
So I used a little rubber band just to hold it on like that, and that's it. You're ready.
Oh, you leave the top open.
Yeah, I'll leave it open.
Okay.
It's got to breathe. Sometimes I'll even just cut it because it can be too much moisture and it'll start to get moldy.
On the stem, yeah.
Yeah. So and especially when you start to get leaves, you don't want this bag in the way. Just fold it down like that. And this right here is just.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, and then like, what are you?
So here's a heating pad in the bottom of this. You want to put some heat, a little bit of warmth on these, just to kind of encourage the roots. And then no light until you start seeing leaves. So I'll fill this up.
Oh, you could do like
Yeah,
100 lollipops.
Yeah, I do a bunch, and you're all the way full. I do 3 of these, usually every year.
I'm impressed. Thank you.
You set them in here. Get a heating pad with a temperature monitor. If you just turn on a heating pad with no sort of monitor on it at all, it'll cook your cuttings. So you want something that can monitor the temperature. Set it to around 80, and then it comes with a little probe to measure it. When you find one of your bags that's kind of centered on the heating pad and stick this in there about that far, so that will be your gauge. To kind of, yeah.
Then you leave it like that.
Just leave it like that, yeah. So then you
Smart
know
little set.
when you know where it's at. You don't have to have all of this. You can set these on top of your fridge where there's a little bit of warmth coming up from the compressor, and like if you're doing 10 or 12, you don't need a whole big setup like this. You don't need a heating pad. Just somewhere out of the way that's not cold. If you don't use a heating pad, it will just take longer. That's the issue. So, and the longer that they're in a bag or sitting in soil and not growing, the chances for mold and fungus are higher.